And she's like, oh my gosh, me and my friends went out and nobody was like trying to get at us. Nobody showed interest, nobody anything. And a guy duetted it or stitched it, and he actually said, well, look what you women have done. Like, this is what you wanted, correct? So I want to piggyback off of that. Ladies, y'all, not all of y'all, but you guys wanted this whole, oh, leave us alone. You guys are perverts. You guys are weirdos. Like, we hate men thing. You guys are on this fucking bandwagon to like, you hate men. What is the fucking goal of this? What is the point of this? Because you know what you guys are doing? You're ruining it for the women who do want to be approached.
Well, ladies, it looks like the chickens have come home to roost. As you can see from that clip, that was a lady that was on World Star Hip Hop. Links in the description of the full video. She's explaining from her perspective what she's seen on the reason why men are no longer approaching women. Hey, you made this bed, now you gotta lay in it. You have put yourself in a corner that nobody wants to come to, and this isn't the first time that I've heard this on a video from a woman, of her saying her friends have went out and they weren't getting approached. There was also an old video, probably like a year or two back, of a woman out in Vegas crying her eyes out because she was in a club and nobody wanted to buy her a drink, or nobody came up and talked to her. A lot of women out there have made it to a point to where you've made it almost dangerous to come up and try to talk to you. Like, it's almost offensive just to say hi to you. So now this is what you start to see, and this is what you're going to start to see a lot more, and this is what you get. And you can't blame nobody but yourself. Look at the guys. I mean, do you want every guy to risk a harassment charge, or you screaming stranger danger and all this extra stuff that y'all do, and you set this stage and now you gotta perform on it? In the video, she talks about how now are women going to start approaching guys and asking guys out, and she said that she highly doubts that that's going to happen. And I would agree with her on that point, that I would highly doubt that would happen, even though you see women, you know, here and then proposing to guys and stuff. But I think it would be rare that women are just going to start approaching guys and asking them out on dates. And if you do, you'll start seeing how hard and difficult it actually is. And when you start getting them rejections, then you'll understand why a lot of guys are gun shy. And then imagine on top of that, if you go and the guy doesn't just say no, but he actually does the most. He pulls out his phone and calls you a lame, or he screams at you, or he just doesn't reply at all, and he just kind of looks at his phone, or he acts scared and walks away. A bunch of that stuff, you know, then you'll understand a little bit more. But even once you understand, it will be a little bit too late at that point, because this is how it is now. This is the stage that you've set. This is how guys feel. They feel like their hands are tied, and what do? You just kind of just shut down, or you change your location. But you can't blame nobody but yourself. But I think the lady, she makes a lot of great points in the video. This is a whole generation of women who grew up believing this is the way that you act, this is the way that you talk to guys. And you have a bunch of guys growing up saying like, man, she's dangerous, she could cost me my job, she could cost me my freedom, I need to stay away from her. That's the lay of the land. But she also makes another great point talking about, well, what happens if women have sons? And are you teaching them to grow up and hate men too because you hate men? That was a very valid point, because a lot of these guys out here, they take on a lot of the traits from their mother. And we see how a community is once the women are running it. Just look at our community. We see how that is, and it's not good for anybody. What can you do? As you can see with Kevin Samuels and any other guy who tries to critique or talk to women about how they act, they get scalded and they get canceled. So how can you move forward? But the chickens have come home to roost, ladies. And this woman explains why men won't approach. And that's all I wanted to say about that. It's that guy, Big Soji, Not Useless Podcast, reporting for duty. Like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notification, and we out.